ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰੀਅੰ ਕਰੀਅੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦੇ ਮੁਕੰਦੇ ਉਦਾਰੇ ਅਪਾਰੇ, ਹਰੀਅੰ ਕਰੀਅੰ ਨਿਰਨਾਮੇ ਅਕਾਮੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਅਪਾਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ। We are going to continue the Adhyay second of Astavakra Gita. In the previous slok, Raja Janak ji, after experiencing the Atam Gyan, the self-realization, is sharing his experience with his Guru, Astavakra ji. So let's start by the next slok. ਅਸ਼ਚਰਜ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਆਦਿ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤਿਨਕੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਗਤ ਦਾ ਨਾਸ ਹੋ ਜਾਣ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਨਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। So Raja Janak ji is astonished at the same time, because in this self-realization, oftentimes the mind feels very astonished after realizing the truth. So in that astonishment, Raja Janak ji is saying that I bow down to my own Sarup. Now, because he has realized that there is no difference between him, Akal Purakh, Paramatma, Satchit Ananda Sarup. So oftentimes when Bhagat Jan have the realization, when Brahmyanis have realization, their Bhakti drops as well. Still they continue doing Bhakti because for the sake of the world. But within them the Bhakti drops, or they are doing Bhakti of their own Atam Sarup. Just like how Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj says, Dehe Siva bar mohe ehe sub karman te kabhu na taro. So in this, Maharaj is doing ardas to his own Atam Sarup. But yet when we don't understand, so we think he's praying to some additional being or entity. But in reality, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is doing ardas to his own Atam Sarup. So in same way, Raja Janak ji is saying that I bow down to my Atam Sarup because of what? Because of this Atam Sarup, from Brahma, from the Brahma Pad to a single strain of grass, because everything else comes under destruction. Everything passes by, because as the time passes, because as Kal happens. So Kal means the concept of time that's always moving. And in that motion, everything is going to come to an end. But Raja Janak ji says, my own Satchit Ananda Sarup is not going to get destroyed. So in this astonishing realization, I bow down to my this Sarup, who despite even Brahma will come under the, will change. The Brahma is going to get destroyed too. And even a single strain of grass is not going to remain. Yet, I'm going to remain. My Atam Sarup, who I am, is going to remain. So I bow down to my Atam Sarup. Salok. ਹੈਰਾਨੀ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਹਧਾਰੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਹਾਂ, ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹਾਂ, ਨਾ ਕਿਤੋਂ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਹਾਂ, ਅਤੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਆਪ ਕੇ ਸਥਿਤ ਹਾਂ। So Raja Janak ji says, again he is surprised. He's saying that it's such a bizarre, astonishing thing that despite me being in this body, I am still one. Just because I'm in this body doesn't mean I'm separate to the rest of the forms, and nor I'm going to go anywhere, and nor I come from anywhere. So actually, I was never born, nor I'm going to die. So it is important that Raja Janakji is talking about his Atam Sarup, not the body, because the body is going to body is going to get destroyed 100%. There is no doubt about it. But the Atam Sarup, this constant awareness that's present, is going to remain throughout. It actually never goes anywhere. So there is no point of even birth or death for the consciousness. And this Atam Sarup of mine, Raja Janakji is saying that it's present everywhere. It's not, it's like understanding through the analogy of clay pots or a room in a house. The space that is present in the room, now that same space is present outside of the room as well. It's absolutely, there is no contraindication. Even scientifically, one cannot prove that the air that's outside is different, or the space that's outside is different to the space within the house or in the clay pot. Same way in this body as well. In our form, the space that's present outside is present within too. And so is the consciousness. So is this awareness always present within the body and outside too. So just to say that I'm different to everything else is actually pointless, because there is absolute no difference in there. So Maharaj explains that because of the status, Upadhi means the activities happening or the status. For instance, when the consciousness takes the form of a female body, we call it obviously female, or the male, and or president or prime minister, based on the education, based on the intellect. All the qualities happening are happening within the consciousness. But because of lack of understanding, we think one is better than the other, or one is less than the other. However, it is the same consciousness that has taken form, and because of the activity happening within the body, we are perceiving it as different. But the truth is, Maharaj says, Ek anek hoye rahyo, that it is one, that oneness only, that one consciousness that has taken all these forms. And that's why the when gyan happens, when self-realization happens, same way Raja Janakji is expressing that I am present everywhere. In there is no difference between the me being present in the body or outside. Now, this doesn't mean that you suddenly will start experiencing as the world from outside the body, because where will you go? Oftentimes in spirituality, it leads to spiritual psychosis because we think we have to go somewhere. But the truth is, when you already are present everywhere, why would you want to go somewhere when you already are everywhere? So the Brahmagyani, they experience the world within from the day, and the world for them stops to exist because the world is only present within the mind. And when the mind of the Brahmagyani has completely disappeared, like that fine, that screen, a screen that has no activity happening on it. So in that way, they all experience is their own Atam Sarup themselves. Salok, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਸਚਰਜ ਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਹੈ. Raja Janakji says, to this astonishing roop of mine, I bow down. I do namaskar to myself, to my this roop. ਇੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਚਤੁਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਸਰੀਰ ਨਾਲ ਛੂਹੇ ਚਿਰਕਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਵਿਸ਼ਵ ਨੂੰ ਧਾਰਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ. Maharaj says, in this world, there is nothing like myself. Now, this is not from ahankar, this is purely from self realization that there is actually absolutely nothing other than me. And because of my own self, this consciousness, the whole world is being perceived. Without this, the world does not exist. Because what happens when we are in deep sleep? If the world really exists outside the consciousness, we would definitely surely have the experience of the world. But what happens in deep sleep? The world stops to exist. But because we don't have the understanding of who we are, when we wake up next morning, we think that we went somewhere or we don't know where we were. But the truth is, the world stopped to exist for us in the deep sleep. Same way, when one has self realization, when they realize who they really are, this Sat Chit Ananda Sarup, the world for them stops to exist because they understand the world is only happening at the level of mind, only because of duality. In reality, there is nothing but consciousness. So, same way they explain that the popular snake rope analogy. Now, what's happening really? We just see that there is a snake in the room and someone just tells you. Literally, what we do is we accept that, hang on, I believe in this person. This person is telling me that this is not a snake, or they put a torch on and they give you evidence that, hang on, this is actually a rope. You were scared for nothing, right? You're not going to die. This is not going to do anything. Same way, in that acceptance, same way the guru comes, the wisdom that has passed down through all the gurus from Guru Nanak Dev Ji up until Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, all the avatar, even Krishna Maharaj, even Jesus, they all said they acted as the guru. They passed on the wisdom to tell us that this world that you are looking at is actually not how you are perceiving. The truth is, there is no such thing as separate Paramatma or the world. It's all a play happening in your own Sarup, not in some Paramatma, some at a distant level. It's actually happening within you. Now, it's up to us that whether we are ready to accept this wisdom. It can take years for sometimes, that's what the journey is. Sometimes, if we, let's say, we have, we, if someone listens to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and let's say they don't have faith in Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, they might believe another person more. Now, obviously, in this era, we don't have physical avatars that are present. So, what's happening? We are looking for the answer through the Granth. It's up to us whether we want to accept this wisdom. The moment we accept this wisdom and start practicing it, we will become their Sarup only. We will realize that the rope that I thought was a snake was actually a rope. And that's how, after practicing, you become Nirbhav and Nirvair, because there is no second thing to have fear of, nor any other thing to dislike. ਸਲੋਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਸਚਰਜ ਸਰੂਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਜਿਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਾ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂ ਜਿਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਬਾਣੀ ਮਨ ਗੋਚਰ ਅਰਥਾਤ ਇੰਦਰੀ ਗੋਚਰ ਹੈ So Raja Janakji is saying, I bow down to, I do namaskar to my this astonishing Sarup, that now there are two ways he's explaining. One, he's saying, Mere da kuch bhi nahi, that nothing belongs to me. If you say, if you see in the sense of space, now space is just present. We can't say that everything belongs to space because space is just absolutely present. Same way, the Atam Sarup, the consciousness, is just present. So it's not the consciousness that's holding on to the things, to the labels. It's the mind that is holding on to the labels that this is mine, this body is mine, this job is mine, these people are mine, or this world is mine. So that's one way to look at it. That's why Kabir ji said, मेरा मुझ में किछ नहीं जो किछ किछ है सो तेरा, that nothing belongs to me. So in that experience, one will actually feel very free and empty without any friction within them. because they realize everything is just passing by in front of this awareness and I'm not holding on to anything. The second way Raja Janak ji is explaining, जिस मेरे दा सब कुछ है, that that everything belongs to me. Now he's using the second version, that first is that nothing belongs to me, second is that everything belongs to me. And they both are equally correct, because truth is everything is because of consciousness. If there was no consciousness, nothing would happen, no activity would happen, no the three forms like the formation, sustaination, and the destruction. All these three things, activities, will not happen if there was no consciousness. And everything is because of the consciousness. So both ways are completely correct. However, in Gurmat, so as one can have less friction within themselves, they choose the path of that, the detachment, that nothing belongs to me. It's a it's consider a little bit less, a bit better, easier way, rather than to consider yourself that everything belongs to me. But within yourself, when some Brahmgyanis have the abhyas, that it doesn't matter to them whatever way they are taking, because they are so still in their Atam Sarup, in this awareness within themselves, that it doesn't matter to them whatever path they want to choose. And what is this Sarup? Raja Janak ji is saying that this Sarup is the knower of the senses. And that's why it's called Gobind. Gobind means the king, the ruler of the senses. So Gobind. Bind means Indriyan, the senses. And Raja Janakji says that I am the awareness of the senses, of the words that I'm speaking, of the mind, of the all the activities. They are happening within me. I'm simply the I'm simply the observer of it. And same way in Gurbani, Mara says, Drisht man hai sagal mithena. So this is an example of that whatever is being perceived through the senses are mithya. Now we have discussed this word mithya before as well. Mithya means that comes under change. Now a very simple activity practice we all can do is uh, throughout the day or by end of the day, sit within yourself and ask these questions. What is within or outside that I see is always changing. That's mithya. Now, soon you will have that, you will get the answers. You will notice the body wasn't the same that you had as a child. It's not the same now, and it's not going to remain the same. The thoughts are always changing. As a kid, you had different thoughts. At certain age, you had different ones. The family, friends around you, same way, their body is changing too. Their behavior is changing too. From from profession, everything else is constantly changing. But there is something within yourself that is never changing, and that is that pure awareness. So Maharaj says that is my sarup. That's what I am, the knower of everything, and everything else is changing. ਤਾਂ ਸਵੈ ਸਭ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਆਪ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਤੂੰ ਸਭਨਾ. So the same example Maharaj says that it is present in everywhere. It's present, the awareness present in the person next to me or outside is absolutely no different. The awareness needs, so that's why they say the nirakar needs, the takes the form of the sargun, the physical manifestation, to create an activity. That's why this body, without this body, the consciousness would not be able to do anything. That's why the avatar or those Mahapurushs, they take the form of the body to play this khel. Salok. ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਿਆਨ ਇਹ ਗਿਆਤਾ ਦੀ ਤ੍ਰਿਪੁਟੀ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ। Now, this is a very deeper thing. Mara says that, so first, there is one, the observer, the, the one who is learning. The one second is through which that wisdom is being perceived. For instance, the gyan, like we are reading the gyan right now, we are listening to the gyan right now. And the third thing is that thing about which we are trying to know. So there is one, the learner, the one who wants to learn. Second, the method through which the learning happens. It could be part, puja, uh, listening to katha, reading. And the third is that which needs to be understood. Now, Maharaj is saying the truth is actually there is no three formations of that. This is the ultimate realization that all along it was you trying to understand yourself through the methods of understanding who you really are. And when you have that realization, the same way Raja Janakji is saying, actually, there is no wisdom separate to myself. There is no observer and nothing that's being observed, because it's simply, let's say that you are standing in front of the mirror, and then there is this that this is you and the reflection in the mirror. Now, in the same way, the reflection in the mirror is is not permanent, it doesn't remain there. But when you have the realization that the world that's happening around, it's like the awareness is looking at awareness. It's That's why it's called a play, that Akal Purakh created this play, and it's playing with itself. There is no separate you or separate Paramatma that is playing with each other. It's the same consciousness playing with itself. ਅਗਿਆਨ ਕਾਰਨ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇਹ ਭਾਸਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਪਾਤੀ ਰਹਿਤ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੈ. Now, Raja Janakji is also clearly saying that it's only because of the agyanta, the lack of understanding. The moment you change your understanding and you take the understanding of the guru, the understanding of the wisdom, you will realize that it's all you that's present. But it's happening, the different status, positions, good, bad, everything is happening because of the lack of knowledge. That's what Raja Janakji is saying as well. Salok, ਦਵੈਤ ਭਾਵ ਹੀ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੀ ਜੜ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਲਾਜ ਨਹੀਂ। ਇਸ ਭਾਵ ਤੋਂ ਸਿਵਾ ਕੀ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀਮਾਨ ਸਭ ਮਿਥਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਬੁੱਧ ਆਨੰਦ ਰੂਪ ਹਾਂ। So Raja Janakji is saying that actually the very cause of suffering is duality. There is absolute no other cause of suffering. Now, the truth is that because this duality is happening in the mind, when the mind is in perceiving two separate things, the opposite of everything. That's why Maras gave a formula that you should just say tu he, that it's all one, it's all you. And same way Radha Janakji is saying that the cause of suffering is duality. The moment the duality appears within the mind, you will notice that the mind becomes starts wandering around again. Now, Maharaj says there is no cure for it. Ista koi ilaj nahi. But the only cure is to understand that what we are actually observing, that which is being observed, including the body, the mind, the world outside, the thoughts, everything, the emotions, everything that we are observing is mithya, is going to change. So naturally, you will reach a state of detachment because you will understand your own sarup. And Raja Janakji saying, I am that pure consciousness. Everything else is just passing by. And because everything comes in change, I'm not changing. So I don't have any suffering as well. Now, in this, it's important. A lot of time, um, the mankind is trying to find peace. But because we don't know where to go, we are chasing material things. We are chasing some it's like chasing something that does not exist. There is no end to it. But we're not realizing that the moment we realize who we are, we are going to put an end to our all the suffering. Everything else is going to come to a absolute stillness, absolute pause the moment we realize who we are. So that's why it's important to practice staying in the Atamavastha. And same thing Gurbani says as well, Duvida Bauri Man Bauraya, that the duality is that's what causing craziness of the mind. Salok, मैं बोध रूप हाँ. Maharaj says, I am the knower of everything. अज्ञान करके उपाधियां दी कल्पना कीती हुई है. And because of the lack of wisdom, lack of knowledge, I have created so many forms around me. Actually, it's just me who's present. ਨਿਤ ਇਸ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਨਿਰਵਿਕਲਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਥਿਤ ਹਾਂ. Raja Janakji is telling his method of practice that every day I stay in my Atam Sarup. I acknowledge this, that the cause of the suffering is duality, and I very much have that power to stop that. So we often say, might see this Sangatji, that sometimes we say that I'm not happy because of this thing or this person. The truth is that the mind is the cause of all the suffering, the duality present in the mind. Actually, nobody has the power to make you upset. That's even in modern science, we say that. Uh, not to worry about what others think of you. It's a deeper way of understanding that actually the truth is that cause of suffering is nothing else but the duality in the mind. And this, every day when you practice being who you are, as in this awareness, day and night you're practicing this. And with practice, because remember, practice is the key, abhyas is the key. There is no Brahmagyani, anyone out there who's going to put a hand on your head and gonna say, "Bless you, you are a Brahmagyani now, or you're enlightened now." This is all just a game going on. That's why we due to lack of understanding, we fall into these traps. But the truth is, we have been given this choice that within this life we can practice this wisdom and realize who we are. And the moment we realize who we are, everything else will sort of disappear from the mind. All the vikars will drop, all the fears will drop, and this peace, which is the byproduct of consciousness, will ultimately come. And Raja Janakji is saying that that's how I practice every day, and I remain still in my own sarup. Slok, मेरा ना कोई बंधन है ना मोक्ष. Raja Janakji next is saying that I don't have any bondage, nor I have any liberation, because I'm already free. I don't come under any of these, two categories. ਇਸ ਸੋਚ ਕਾਰਨ ਨਿਰਆਸਰਾ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਪਰਮ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ. And with this thinking, with this acceptance, I have stopped taking support of anyone else. And this illusion has been completely removed that I need support of someone else in this journey, because I have understood that my own Sarup, nobody can actually understand. That's why for a Brahmagyani, when you see them, or we are just looking at them from the outside. We don't know what they are from the within. And that's why even in Gurbani says, Sad Chor Sab Brahm Pashano, that look at a thief and a sadhu jan as equal. But what's happening in today's world is we see someone in Bana and we treat them in a special manner. And when we see our family friends, somehow we don't give the same respect to them. And that's because of Agyanta. We think that person is because he's wearing some special clothes or reciting some Gurbani, that person is somehow better than the other. But Maharaj is clearly saying that see Akal Purakh in Manmukh and Gurmukh, in a thief and a Brahmagyani as well, in a sadhu as well. Because the outer appearance does not mean anything when it comes to adhyatam. सो आश्चर्य है कि मेरे विच स्थित विश्व दर असल मेरे विच स्थित है ही नहीं ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਭਾਸਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਥਿਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਕੇਵਲ ਇੱਕ ਭਰਮ ਹੈ ਵਾਸਤਵਿਕਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ. Now Maharaj is actually going even next level. He wants to destroy all the um, the illusion of the mind. Maharaj is saying the world, that the sansar that you're actually thinking of, it's just a doubt. It's just a duality. Actually, just like how in deep sleep the world does not exist for you, the moment you become still in your own sarup, you will realize you created this world um, with your thoughts. That's why they say when Akal Pura created the world, first of all, it created from itself. And oftentimes, sometimes we waste so much of our life finding something, like it's like chasing something to know that how can a Kalpura create itself. But Gurbani clearly says that Sapang, it created itself. So intellect cannot understand consciousness, right? For to be that consciousness, you just have to be. Intellect can't reach that because it's just not possible. The intellect can reach at certain level what we are reading about. We That's what's happening at intellectual level, but the experience of who you are, that cannot be known through intellect. And Maharaj is saying this sansar, the word sansar means sansar, doubt. So it's being perceived because of agyanta. In truth, there is nothing but consciousness. Slok. ਇਹ ਨਿਸ਼ਚਿਤ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਰੀਰ ਸਮੇਤ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੇਵਲ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਚੇਤਨ ਸਰੂਪ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਸਰੀਰ ਅਤੇ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੀ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਕਿਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਏ? जगत रचना सब मिथ्या है, संसार है ही नहीं, क्योंकि जैसा सुपना रैण का तैसा संसार. ਇਹ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਰਾਤ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਸੁਪਨਾ. Now, just when we have, let's say, when we have a dream, in that dream, when we wake up next morning, we are not, that dream is not tangible. No matter how much we try to explain to someone how much real it felt, we know that it did not happen. That's why exactly this world that we are perceiving is considered as a dream. That when we go to sleep and that dream that we experience is a shorter dream, but this world that we are perceiving is a very long dream that happens for so and so years. That's how again to do abhyas, that and the more you realize, you stay still in your awareness, in your sarup, the more you will start experiencing this world to be just a dream. So you won't take this world as serious as well. That's why Bhagat Jan, Brahm Gyani, they become very carefree within them. They don't do chintan of the world because they know it's just a dream that's happening in the consciousness, and nothing is going to stay still, remain other than my own sarup. So why do I even have to worry about the world in that way? Yet they give their best in the dream. That's how they live their life. ਰੱਸੀ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਸੱਪ ਦਾ ਭਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਿਕਦਾ. The moment you realize that it's a rope, not a snake, there is no point of going back that it's going to be a snake because you have realized the truth. ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਕੇਵਲ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਚੇਤਨ ਸਰੂਪ ਆਤਮਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦਾ ਭਰਮ ਟਿਕਣ ਦਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ. Maharaj says, same way, like in that split second, the moment you realize it's a rope, then there is no way that you're going to think of it as a snake because now you have understood. Same way, the moment you practice the wisdom and have the self realization and see yourself as everyone in everyone, that split moment, the whole world is going to disappear. That doesn't mean that the physical world is going to disappear. That is very much going to remain, but within yourself you realize there is no second person present. That's why for brahmyanis they become carefree because they are only talking to themselves. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? But it is. Yet we kind of like consciousness, we are just speaking to each other. That's how it is. Salok. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਰੀਰ ਸਵਰਗ ਨਰਕ ਬੰਧਨ ਮੁਕਤੀ ਅਤੇ ਡਰ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਮਾਤਰ ਹਨ. Wow, now this is really going beautifully. Maharaj is explaining that the body, the swarg, heaven, nark, hell, the bondage, the liberation, and the fear, these are all imaginations, like imaginations. The moment you realize who you are, and there is absolute no fear of heaven, no fear of nark, no fear of any bondage as well. And because this wisdom is practiced by very few people, that's why the fear of nark swarg is created. That's because of agyanta. People say, if you do this, this is going to happen. If you do, we're not being taught about this in the right way. We are not connecting to the wisdom directly. We are connecting through those who have absolute no practice of the wisdom or who themselves haven't practiced. And that's why the fear based, the fear of God, the fear of the world is being programmed into the mind. But the truth is, someone who has actually realized themselves, they will always promote that self love, that care among each other. They will never put you down, they will never install fear in your mind. Same way, Raja Janak ji, I think there is a Sakhi where he freed people from nark hell as well by giving them wisdom. So in this way, when Guru gives us wisdom, we realize our own sarup as well. ਮੇਰਾ ਜੋ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਚੇਤਨ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਯੋਜਨ ਆਤਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਪਛਾਣ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੁੱਧ ਚੇਤਨ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਅਸਲੀਅਤ ਜਾਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਵਰਗ ਨਰਕ ਆਦ ਸਭ ਕਲਪਨਾ ਮਾਤਰ ਹਨ ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰਯੋਜਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋ Maharaj is saying those who realize their pure conscious sarup, that who they are, they have absolute no fear of heaven or hell. So no matter wherever they are, if someone comes and tells them that you're going to go to heaven or hell, they don't even have that desire of going to heaven because they already are in heaven, they already are in Sachkhand. And oftentimes even these days we are being taught that if you do good things you'll go to Sachkhand. But Gurbani is not saying this. Gurbani is saying you already are in Sachkhand. You just have to realize it. There is no Sachkhand out there somewhere that Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is standing and waiting for you. But the Sachkhand is within you. That guru you're seeking for is already within you. You just have to practice and realize it. So, Maharaj Kirpa, we will take pause here today. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.